Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together.
Welcome back.
We're unmuted yet.
Oh, I wasn't unmuted yet? Okay. Well, now I am, right? All right. Welcome back. It's Friday again. Can you believe it?
You ready for today's animal?
Yes, Mr. E, I am.
It's Freaky Fauna Friday.
That's right. And I'm Jay.
And I am Mr. E. You already said it. Peaceful Mr. E.
Peaceful. That's what we wanted. Because it's Friday and it's a peaceful Friday.
The quokka.
Huh?
Quokka.
What's that?
It's a quokka.
Are you yelling at me?
It's also known sometimes as the short-tailed scrub wallaby.
A scrub wallaby?
You've seen pictures of these guys. These are the smiling things. You ever seen the little mammals that smile in every picture?
I don't know if I have.
They're a big tourist thing
Oh, okay.
because they literally do not stop smiling. Like,
Is this the thing that is in that video? It's like, dun, dun, dun.
no, that's a marmot.
Oh, and it turns and looks at the camera?
That's a marmot.
Oh, okay.
They are small wallabies the size of a cat, native to Australia.
Wow.
They are herbivorous, mainly nocturnal, and famous for cute selfies due to their happy and rather adorable appearance.
They do look pretty adorable, I must say.
So some quick quokka facts.
Quokka?
Quokka. Quokka.
Quokka.
Quokka.
Such a weird name.
They love scrubs, swamps, forest, and grasslands. Southwest, Western Australia.
Ooh, that's like rainforesty area.
Lifespan is up to 10 years. They can be about 20 inches tall. They can weigh about 10 pounds for males and about 7 pounds for females. They're almost always brown in color. They eat pretty much all types of vegetation, including leaves, scrub brushes, and grasses. Their two big predators are both invasive. Vulpix and Felis catus.
So, foxes?
Red fox and domestic cats.
Ah, okay.
Top speed is unknown. Number of species is 1, and conservation status is vulnerable. Maybe, that may be reclassified as endangered here soon.
Okay.
Quokkas are found in a variety of habitats across Western Australia. Because they're herbivores, they just live wherever they can get constant amounts of large vegetation. As such, quokkas are vulnerable to dangers from wildfires and droughts that destroy these grassland habitats, their food sources. They can live up to 10 years in the wild, and our oldest ones in captivity are right about 14 years old. They are known in memes as the happiest animals on planet Earth due to their protruding front teeth. It basically gives them the appearance of always smiling, like they have a big goofy smile.
Oh, okay.
So these guys have many names. Well, first interesting fact. Many, many names. The Aboriginal Noongar people, as to how I think it's that Aboriginal tribe's name in Australia, they are known as a Bangup.
A Bangup.
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 Mm-hmm. They're also known as a Bungup, which is spelled different, but I keep pronouncing it very similar. And Quokka.
Ah.
It has really weird little, like the symbols over the letters.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know how to read it.
Yeah, I'm not the best at those either.
Guess what? They're related to kangaroos.
Well, everything is in Australia, I think.
Well, they are actually in the kangaroo family, wallabies and kangaroos.
Oh, okay.
They can climb trees, even though they look like they can't. Although they primarily walk, they climb trees and scrub to find food and to escape predators. Excuse me, I'm burpy today.
When you keep saying scrub, what's scrub land?
It's a type of brush. So,
okay.
In Africa, you'd probably call it savanna.
Okay.
So some trees, but mostly like bushes and grasses. So it's not quite a grassland and it's not quite a forest.
Okay.
Scrub a lot of times is in between. That's the real watered down version of what the scrub is. Certain types of plants and a little bit more arid.
Okay.
Quokkas are nocturnal. They spend their evenings and night hours browsing for food, and they sleep during the day.
So nocturnal guys.
They have an island named after them. A Dutch explorer named William Del Van Gogh spotted quokkas off the coast of this island in 1696, mistaking them for large rats. He called the island Roten, which is just kind of translates to rat nest.
Oh, wow.
The island is known by the Norgar people, the original inhabitants, as Wadabjump, place across the water where the spirits are.
Oh.
So it's an island just off the coast. So they named it where the spirit... Basically, it's the spirit island.
Okay.
They live in very, very limited areas. Quokkas live in isolated patches of jar forest in the mainland Australia. They also live on Bald Island. A large quokka population also lives on Rotten Nest Island, Rat Nest Island.
So they're on
two islands and just a couple spots on the mainland.
Mainland, okay.
Because they're pretty much being wiped out by or by invasive animals.
Cats.
Cats and foxes.
Cats and foxes.
Yeah. Quokkas' skulls have small jaws and protruding teeth that make them look like they're constantly smiling. The selfies of these things.
It kind of reminds me of the cave goat.
Except that they don't eat skulls.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't become cold-blooded.
They do just look like they're smiling, just enjoying themselves.
And they're fairly friendly animals in the wild.
They look, more than content.
Yeah, well, they're probably not going to be here for in a couple decades.
So they're enjoying it while they got it.
The famous for selfies. Many quokkas have little fear of people, whether they've been in contact with people or not. It's just something in their head. They're not really scared of people. Mm-hmm. Mostly due to the large number of visitors in their habitats, quokkas have adapted to human interactions and will readily approach people in search of food. They even get close enough for visitors to take selfies with them.
That's crazy. Imagine that, though, like an animal evolving so used to us. It literally will pose for a picture with you.
We have animals here in the States that do that.
Like what?
Well, it depends on where you're at, but elk and deer, bears.
I've never seen one where I could approach it.
The bear that waves to get a piece of bread.
Okay, I guess that's something.
He goes and sits in the same spot every day, and as he sits there and he waves with the car, they'll give him a piece of bread.
That's that one bear.
But I'm just saying that's habituation.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's just crazy. Like, these guys are just known for that.
So while pictures are allowed, touching them is strictly forbidden. So this lady is literally laying her head on one. And she got shot after this.
Oh, rightfully so. I'm just kidding.
Despite their friendly appearance, touching or harming quokkas is forbidden and is sometimes dangerous. They are classified as vulnerable species by the IUCN, leading regulations surrounding their habitat and human contact. Quokkas are capable of inflicting severe bites and transmitting salmonella.
Ooh.
Touching or harming quokkas carries a large fine from the Australian government, if not imprisonment.
Well, rightfully so.
And they, like I said, they do have a pretty strong bite. It's very rare. Like most time when they bite tourists, it's people trying to pick them up.
Yeah, they cross the line.
Yeah, it's like any animal. It's a wild animal, and people kind of forget that, even though it's habituated to humans, people kind of forget that they're wild, and their face is very misleading.
Oh yeah, it's very inviting and looks
for a human.
fun.
It's hard because it's like, why it's smiling, it's happy.
Yeah,
its skull is shaped like that. You can't not smile.
It wants me by it. It's like those little monkeys in. Is that? I'm gonna probably get it wrong. Whatever country, where they kind of take over the city and tourists give them food and stuff.
There's several countries. I mean, just name one. I mean, India has a big problem with some of the monkeys.
But people sometimes see that and be like, oh, that looks like fun, and then
Japan has some problems with it.
And then when they actually deal with them, it's scary.
No, they have a
They're
nasty
wild.
bite.
Yeah.
The problem with monkeys is that we're closely related.
Yeah.
So a lot of the diseases carry over.
Oh gosh, that's even scarier.
When they're mammals, like marsupials, for example, they're so much farther related. They're mammals still, right?
Yeah, but you're not as likely to contract whatever
they got.
Like,
very few things like chlamydia and salmonella, and now they're saying that even the quote unquote chlamydia that koalas carry, may not even be human transmissible unless they're immunocompromised.
Okay.
So it may just it may be extremely rare cases that even does anything.
Right. Yeah.
And salmonella is salmonella. They live in microhabitats and prefer really, really certain things. Wildfires, predators, and habitat destruction have reduced the size of the areas that can sustain quokka populations. The remaining populations inhabit very, very small localized areas in just a few swamps and forests. Research has shown that some populations of quokka exhibit habitat preferences that will inhabit areas that other quokkas will not, such as certain types of swamp. So that's saying, I'll re-explain that even within the quokka population, there are subgroups that prefer very certain things past their already very strict habitat requirements.
So they're being extra picky.
It's we talk about this with jaguars, right? Not jaguars. Yeah, jaguars. The cubs being born different colors.
Right, yep.
So they operate in different times of the day.
Okay.
This is a much more derived version of that.
Huh.
There were certain populations like this type of, so they're not co-competing.
Right,
directly.
yeah. They're after different resources,
Yes.
basically.
But they already prefer a very small group of habitats, and then they would specialize inside those habitats. Now with forest fires, predators, and that kind of stuff, those areas have shrunk dramatically.
They're getting all mushed together.
Some are territorial. While quokkas are territorial, it depends on where they live. Males who live in the mainland Australia would defend their territory against other males. Females who live on Rat Nest Island, however, have observed to live with overlapping groups and even share shelters during the daytime.
So more communal there.
Yeah, and that makes sense for island life because there's just not that, you can't leave.
Right, yeah. You have to learn to deal with your neighbors.
Yeah. They survive by storing fat in their tails. Quokkas have long, thick tails that contain fat storage. So unlike
That's interesting.
yeah, so like kangaroos and other wallabies, that the thick tails for balance and that kind of stuff. Quokkas almost have more. They kind of have a rat tail, right? Their tail's bare,
Yeah.
mostly hairless.
Okay.
So when you look at koalas and some species of wallabies, they have furred tails.
Right.
So it looks a little different. So during periods of drought and low food availability, the fat storage can be broken down and sustain the quokkas until another food source is located.
And their tails, of all places.
That's a lot of animals store that in their tails.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Like what?
A lot of reptiles,
Okay, I could see that. That makes sense.
specifically lizards, crocodilians,
It's
they'll
just
store in their tails.
weird for a mammal, I guess. For me, it's just odd.
So I
Because
know,
normally when I think of a tail, it's either, super thin and wispy, like a house cat tail, I don't know. Or you get like the thick cat tail, where it's muscly. Or even like you said, kangaroo, muscly.
yeah,
I never crossed my mind to think of a fat storage tail.
oh my gosh, I know there's mammals that do it. Now I'm trying to think. I can think of a lot of reptiles.
Yeah, that's okay. That's an odd thing for me, I guess. I don't normally think of.
No, but yeah, because
That's pretty cool.
it's out of the way most of the time.
Yeah. That's a good spot for it, in my opinion. I mean, I'm no animal creation expert, but it seems to work.
Their reproduction depends on where they live. Those who live on the mainland Australia breed year-round and can have up to 2 offspring a year. Quokkas who live on Rat Nest Island breed only once a year and typically only have 1 offspring.
Oh, wow.
And their babies are called joeys. So this is an example of maybe speciation. They may be at the very tip of that, where these two, the island version and the mainland version, are becoming separate species.
Wow.
But it could also be selective reproduction, to where they may have more control over the reproduction than most other mammals do. So they know that, limited populations and limited predators,
Yeah.
they don't need to be pushing as hard
Right,
to produce offspring. Their primary predators are invasive species. So before these invasive species, it's kind of why the quokkas are very not scared.
Because they didn't have anything eating them.
Like, there used to be giant lizards that were eating them. There's still animals that eat them, but they're just not on the menu for a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
Because they're just small enough for the big predators to be like, they're kind of annoying to catch. And they're just big enough that a lot of the small predators are like,
too much.
It's really hard to handle an adult quokka. So they had a good stint of just being annoying enough not to eat.
Right.
And now foxes and cats are like really good at murdering them. Cats will just murder a whole bunch of them.
Don't even
Keep in
care.
mind, these are like the size of cats.
Yeah.
And cats will come up and bite them in the back of the neck, break their spines, and just leave them there.
Cats.
Cats just like to kill. So the introduction of red foxes and house cats in the quokka habitats have been a major factor in population decline. Without natural defenses against these skilled predators, quokkas populations have been forced to inhabit very small regions to avoid them. So basically, the only places that are left, quokkas should be extinct due to cats and foxes. Mm-hmm. There's just a couple areas where cats and foxes can't survive very well.
Okay.
That's where the quokkas are.
Imagine that, though,
Like the death swamps.
Okay.
That's
the real tough spots.
Yeah, that's where quokkas are like, it's nice.
Yeah.
Just good real estate.
Imagine, though,
I love that 18-foot saltwater crocodile and that 100-foot python and The megalania that comes by every once in a while.
This is great. It's like that meme of that dog where the house is on fire.
Except it probably is great for the quokka. Because if the megalania walks by, which everybody knows the biggest lizard ever, as far as we know, which I still believe they're out there in Australia, and actually this region is one of the areas where I think they still may be.
Yeah.
I don't even think a megalania would even look at these things.
What?
As food.
Oh, okay.
Because it would be like like mice to a Komodo dragon.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or it would be hard for it to recognize, like,
I don't
not
know.
saying it won't snap at one or whatever.
You look at black bears, most of their, 60% of their protein diet?
Yeah, but that's black bears specialize in small things. Komodo dragons specialize in murdering things much their size and bigger.
I'm just trying to make a case. I'm trying.
Now you just see 50 quokkas sitting on a log in this rainforest. A cat runs up or a fox. The log stands up.
Yeah, it's on a Komodo or a megalania.
Yeah.
I was thinking though, what was I going to say? That imagine them living their lives, for however many hundreds of thousands of years, maybe not 100,000s, but thousands of years. And then all of a sudden, like, these house cats just show up out of nowhere. These foxes just show up out of nowhere. It's all of a sudden there's these major predators they have to deal with. That would just kind of ruin life.
It has for thousands of species. Cats are, what is it? It's cats, largemouth bass. Cats are the worst one. And then I think it's rats. Which rats are ubiquitous pretty much everywhere besides Australia.
Yeah.
Naturally speaking.
Okay.
But the rats that are native, like, they fit in the niche already, right? So all the giant Asian forest rats are one of the biggest species. But they aren't decimating the native populations of birds and stuff like that because they fit in.
Right, yeah.
The giant European rat that came over is decimating bird populations because the birds don't know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
And they don't, invasive species, no matter what they are.
They're filling other
like
niches.
Alligator gar here, we're endangered. They're mostly removed off the endangered species list in most states now, I believe. But they were endangered. They're still threatened here. And then they're invasive in some parts of China.
Which is...
They're decimating Chinese populations of fish.
Which is crazy to think about.
So was muskie in Russia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because their native fish deal with, like, their version of pike, right? They have esox.
Why'd they bring muskie over there?
It's what humans do.
Yeah. Not smart.
Well, it's with fish specifically, they just bring them because it's like, oh, it's the better game fish.
Right, yeah.
Like largemouth bass have destroyed much of Japan's native fish. And Mexico.
Wonderful.
Largemouth bass are probably the worst invasive fish.
Because they can live in anything.
Yeah, they're excuse me, very tolerant. And they can eat prey items much larger than fish of their size normally can.
Right, yeah.
And they reproduce very fast. They're pretty good parents.
Dang.
So they're kind of like, that's why they're such a big threat. Like, they don't care if the water is really poopy. They don't care if the water is really clean. They just like to live. And they're good at it. So number 15, quokkas do not throw their babies to escape predators.
Oh.
So this was something that went around the internet forever, where they would it was said that they would toss their baby at a predator because in their head they can always make it another baby. Okay.
Is this from Witness or something?
So, but they do drop and sacrifice them.
So they do that.
They don't chuck them. So the internet meme of the quokkas tossing their babies at predators to escape was not entirely accurate.
They drop them.
Researchers have found female quokkas to relax their pouch muscles to drop their babies to allow them to escape the predators and near certain death for both mother and baby.
Oh, okay.
This is the ultimate survival strategy available for these marsupials in the wild.
That makes sense.
So most of the time they just drop their baby.
And just hope the baby makes it.
Yeah, it's more like hopefully everybody can run.
Yeah. Hopefully he chases me and lets the baby go and...
Sure. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Hopefully.
It's more likely that she's just stopped caring, at this point, because, like I said, it's probably death for both.
Running for her life, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's probably the best motherly instinct
to drop. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
But they're not chucking them. That was
right,
the thing on the internet for a while. Is that they would throw their little babies at
right at them, like pocket sand. Sha.
Baby.
You're right.
Quokkas are making a comeback, is my last little fact.
Oh, all right.
Conservation plans instituted by the Australian government protect and restoring quokka habitat, including those destroyed in 2015 wild Australian brush fires. Thanks to these regulations, quokka population is growing and under close monitoring.
Well,
they
good.
also exterminate invasive species They have a lot of incentive for exterminating invasive species.
Cats and foxes.
Yes. Yes. They're much more relaxed. Cats. So I've talked about it on every show we've ever done with my opinion on cats in general. House cat, pet cats are great. Cats are very interesting, intelligent animals. That's actually probably why they're such a big problem, is how intelligent they are, and they get really bored.
Yeah, they do.
So they're more closely related to wild cats than dogs are. So dogs have been bred out way down the line.
Right.
And a lot of dogs breeds have lost that intensive, like, prey drive.
The wild instinct.
Prey drive.
Yeah.
Most cats still have the prey drive. The problem is they're fed, so they're not hungry. So they just start killing to kill.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that where they're in this intermediate area of where they still have these intense instincts and they're very intelligent, but they don't need it.
Right.
So these cats, and then they breed very quickly, and there's no predators for them. So they're literally wiping out species off the planet. Cats, besides humans, are the number one invasive species, killing species off the planet faster. I think cats have killed over 2,000 species of lizard, like extinct.
Dang.
Because they just like killing little things.
Yeah.
Birds, songbird, birds in general have just been decimated by cats. So America has, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is for cats, invasive species of cats in North America, because a lot of institutions will catch feral cats. They will snip them, right? So they prevent them from breeding anymore and then re-release them.
Okay.
I get that.
Like from Price is Right. Spay and neuter your pets.
That's different than putting wild cats back out there.
Oh, okay.
Because that's still hurting this. The cats live 10, 15 years.
Yeah, they're still going to kill
They're still going to murder
that they want to get.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what the right answer is.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I don't know the right answer to this problem.
Well, Australia is pretty active, and their endangered species are coming back.
Oh, well, good.
So,
I mean, I know a few people that are pretty good at removing invasive cats. We just need more of them for hire.
All right. With this, though, this is a good status, though. The quokkas are really cute. This is a thing I don't normally put the cute animals in for fauna, because here's what I'm getting at, I guess, is that cute animals generally, as when we did endangered species working over that, we ignored.
Okay.
Because they already get support.
Right.
These little photograph bomb little things, like, they already have tons and tons of support. They're adorable. They're goofy. You can get pictures with them. You can go a drive and get a picture with one of them. It's like a tourist thing. Mm-hmm. So if you say, hey, these things need help, there's 99% of the time financial availability to help those cute things.
Right.
It's the quote-unquote, they just did, I think Netflix did a show called The Outback, and they had the Ugly Society, whereas the animals that were considered ugly by normal people that still needed protection and help. And the inland taipan was actually on there. And they actually portrayed it accurately. The inland taipan was, I think, the main protagonist. Very, very docile for, kill 115 men in one bite, all of that. And it is a very, very docile animal.
Right.
But yeah, so that's why I don't really do the really cute ones in Freaky Fauna, because they generally get enough love. But somebody had suggested the quokka, so there you go. That's the quokka.
That was a fun one.
They're cute.
Learn
They're awesome.
something.
They throw their babies at predators. I don't care what anybody says. Just, if you drop your baby while a predator's chasing you, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're both going to escape.
Yeah. Especially the baby's like just hits the ground pretty hard. It's like, oh, that's a red fox. Oh, mom's already gone.
Oh, that's the inside of a red fox's mouth.
That's the inside. All right, guys, enjoy the cooling weather. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.